New South Wales is home to some of the most breathtaking and expensive real estate in the Southern Hemisphere. Among its elite addresses, there is a clear hierarchy shaped by geography, history, and social prestige. Starting with the entry point of this rarefied market and rising to the absolute peak, these suburbs tell stories of harbor vistas, ocean cliffs, heritage mansions, and lifestyles reserved for the privileged. In this journey from the least expensive of the state's most exclusive suburbs to the very pinnacle of luxury, you will see how the interplay of natural setting, decades of development, and human aspiration has molded places that are equal parts beauty and status. Each suburb has a distinct personality. Some whisper an old money calm, others pulse with coastal energy, but all command exceptional prices because they deliver something the rest of the world finds hard to replicate: a combination of view, privacy, history, and daily amenity. This tour is as much about the land as it is about the people who have shaped it. Families and founders, architects and gardeners, sailors and socialites, each leaving a layer that adds to the address's value over time. Northbridge begins our tour with a median house price of roughly $5.2 million. Sitting just 6 kilometers north of Sydney's CBD, Northbridge is embraced by Middle Harbour on 3 sides and is typified by winding roads, large gardened blocks, and mature native and introduced trees. Its name honors a bridge whose arrival in the late 19th century transformed access and sparked residential growth. Initially a semi-rural area, it gradually attracted wealthier residents who built substantial homes and created the quiet, gardened streets that remain its hallmark. People move to Northbridge because it delivers a rare combination: proximity to the city coupled with a genuine sense of retreat. Families prize the space, private pools, yards, and room to grow, while professionals value quick access to the CBD without the noise of inner-city life. The suburb's school catchments, sporting clubs, and community groups foster stability and a strong neighborly culture. In addition, the surrounding national reserves and harborside tracts appeal to outdoor enthusiasts who want bushland and water on the doorstep. Its riverside pockets are prized by boat owners and those who enjoy weekend escapes on the water. Local cafes and community halls stage seasonal markets and school fundraisers that help preserve a neighborhood feel. Buyers often cite the comfort of knowing that mature trees and established hedges will keep privacy for decades, and the suburb's sense of continuity, with families often staying for generations, contributes to its appeal. Rose Bay follows, with a median house price around $5.57 million. Situated on the eastern edge of Sydney Harbour, Rose Bay has been prized for its sheltered waters, gentle sea breezes, and early ferry connections since the 19th century. Wealthy Sydney families historically used the area as a retreat, and the growth of harbourside promenades and yacht clubs helped establish its reputation as a leisure-focused suburb. Today, Rose Bay balances heritage and contemporary living. Period villas sit beside tastefully renovated modern homes, while apartment buildings on key ridgelines capture harbour vistas. People relocate to Rose Bay for the lifestyle trifecta of water, amenity, and accessibility. The ferry wharf offers a scenic commuting option to the city, while parks and playgrounds create easy weekend escapes for families. Rose Bay's built environment supports a relaxed yet elegant way of life. Evenings at the yacht club, morning runs along the water, and weekends at bustling cafes. Local conservation efforts have maintained much of the shoreline's amenity, and community groups advocate for walkable, low-impact development so that the harbor's character remains intact. The suburb also benefits from small, quality retail and specialist services, where longevity and word-of-mouth matter. Residents tend to value trusted local businesses and long-standing clubs as much as new developments. Double Bay comes next, with median house prices around $7.3 million and apartment values averaging near $195 million. The suburb's development as a fashionable enclave dates to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, when villa estates and elegant shopping strips began to define its character. Over time, Bay Street and its side roads became a focus for high-end retail, dining, and personal services, transforming Double Bay into a polished urban village. The residential pockets remain quietly exclusive, with tree-lined streets that step away from the main strip and lead into private gardens. People are drawn to Double Bay for a concentrated lifestyle. Designer shopping, harborside dining, and social visibility, combined with a residential calm tucked away from the main strip. The appeal is social as much as it is practical. Owners enjoy boutique culture, convenient marinas, and the ability to step from a waterfront table back into privacy within minutes. Double Bay's commercial strip is also a hub for events and seasonal programming, from food and wine fairs to pop-up fashion showcases, and this civic life contributes to the suburbs' magnetism. On any given weekend, the streets feel busy but contained, and the suburbs' rhythm, morning markets, lunchtime tables, afternoon strolls along the harbor promenade, makes it easy to see why people choose to live where leisure and prestige meet. Across the harbor lies Mosman, where larger homes commonly sell in the $7 or $8 million range. Mosman's shoreline of bays and headlands attracted wealthy settlers in the 19th century who established villas and grand residences, and these historic threads still shape the suburbs' character. The area's architectural heritage, graceful Federation homes, stone cottages, and interwar mansions, lends Mosman a character that feels both coastal and refined. Mosman combines natural reserves, protected harbor beaches, and a village center that supports galleries, artisan shops, and cafes, creating a suburb that feels cultured as well as scenic. People move to Mosman for a balanced lifestyle where nature and cultural life coexist. Sheltered coves for swimming and boating, bushland reserves for walking, and a village core for everyday convenience. Excellent local schools, sporting clubs, and community organizations make it particularly friendly for families, while professionals prize the easy ferry or road access to the city. A strong sense of local stewardship has kept many of Mosman's bushland pockets intact, giving residents access to both coastal and woodland landscapes within short distances. The suburb's cultural calendar, small gallery openings, music recitals, and community festivals reinforces a civic soul that is rare for suburbs so close to a major city, further attracting residents who value enriching local life. Tamarama is small in area but immense in allure, with a median house price near $783 million. Nestled between Bondi and Bronte, its compact beach and rugged cliffs have made it a celebrated part of Sydney's coastline. Once a modest surfside community, Tamarama's scarcity of developable land and pristine coastal views have driven its evolution into an exclusive micro-suburb. The famous Bondi to Coogee coastal walk that threads past its edge draws locals and visitors alike, and the sense of proximity to the ocean permeates daily life. People move to Tamarama for immediacy, morning swims, clifftop sunsets, and a neighborhood where the social life is inherently outdoor and seaside. The suburbs' boutique feel magnifies community events and local businesses. A single corner cafe or gallery serves as a hub for residents. Architects and designers have, in recent years, refashioned many homes to be both modern and sensitive to the coastal environment, using natural materials, expansive glazing, and clever landscaping to guard against erosion and salt exposure. Buyers often include downsizers seeking a low-maintenance but spectacular location, professionals who crave the beachside energy, and wealthy families who appreciate the discreet, compact nature of the suburb. The limited supply ensures that each sale is closely watched and often fiercely contested. Vaucluse occupies the South Head Peninsula and carries a median house price around $8.5 million, with a history steeped in colonial grandeur. Early estates took advantage of dramatic topography and sea views, building clifftop homes and ornate gardens that remain part of the suburb's charm. Over the 20th century, careful subdivision and planning controls preserved large allotments and a sense of retreat. Vaucluse's winding lanes and formal plantings create an atmosphere of cultivated seclusion that few suburbs can match. People move to Vaucluse because it delivers drama and seclusion in equal measure. Clifftop residences, private promenades, and quiet coves become daily natural theater. The suburb attracts high-net-worth individuals who want a permanent coastal sanctuary with the infrastructure to support a luxurious lifestyle, private clubs, prestigious schools, and marina access. And it is popular with international buyers drawn to the idea of an established coastal retreat. Vaucluse also boasts heritage trails and interpretive signage that record the lives of early residents and the environmental history of the headlands, offering a narrative that connects present-day owners with earlier chapters of the suburb's life. Landscape architects and gardeners are often commissioned to preserve or restore historic plantings, and a culture of careful custodianship helps maintain the suburb's distinct atmosphere. Darling Point rises steeply above Sydney Harbour and has a median house price of around $9.3 million. Its history is closely tied to the social life of the city. 19th-century mansions were often built with private moorings, terraced gardens, and architecturally framed harbor views that announced their owner's place in society. In the 20th century, the suburb adapted, introducing luxury apartment buildings and discreet renovations that respected original fabrics while updating interiors to contemporary standards. People choose Darling Point for social visibility balanced with privacy. The neighborhood supports waterfront clubs, compact parks, and ferry connections which make both recreation and commuting pleasant. Professionals, diplomats, and families who appreciate protocol and presentation often favor Darling Point because it combines an elegant urban rhythm with opportunities for intimate outdoor life, boating, harbor walks, and quiet gardens. Events such as regatta weekends and community garden projects keep the area connected to maritime life, and discreet, residents-only clubs provide social venues where friendships are formed across generations. The suburb's mix of intimate green spaces and high-quality built form creates pockets for quiet living, even as the harbor's wider panorama remains accessible. Bellevue Hill offers elevated living with median house prices near $9.4 million, and its treed avenues and generous lot sizes create an air of stately calm. The suburb has long been a choice for those who prize large private gardens, reputable schools, and a quieter residential rhythm removed from the busiest shopping strips. Architecturally, Bellevue Hill presents a collage of Federation-era mansions, mid-century homes, and bold contemporary designs, reflecting waves of investment and taste across generations. People move to Bellevue Hill because it provides space and stability, wide streets for children to play, rooms for art and music, gardens for entertaining, and the sense that one has purchased both a home and a lifestyle. The suburb's elevation brings cooler microclimates in summer and often spectacular outlooks across treetops to the harbor or to distant coastline. Bellevue Hill's community groups, garden societies, school parent committees, and local heritage trusts actively shape the suburb's character, sustaining high standards of maintenance and amenity that buyers value. Point Piper sits at the very top of New South Wales's property pyramid, with a median house price around $19.1 million and a reputation for exclusivity that is almost unrivaled. This tiny headland on Sydney Harbor was claimed early by wealthier settlers who understood the value of uninterrupted views and private shoreline. Those early patterns of ownership have been maintained through careful stewardship and a market that prizes scarcity above all else. Point Piper's properties are often architectural statements set within mature gardens, with private access to the water and vistas that frame the Opera House and Harbor Bridge from particular angles. The premium here is driven by scarcity and status. There are only so many parcels of waterfront land, and the social value of a Point Piper address amplifies market demand. Buyers who move to Point Piper expect privacy, bespoke architecture, and proximity to elite schools and clubs. Many view ownership here as a long-term legacy to be passed down across generations. On the rare occasions when properties come to market, they attract international attention and competitive bidding, and purchasers often acquire not just amenity, but a narrative. A place with provenance, carefully curated grounds, and the potential for thoughtful restoration or bespoke new design. The suburb's defenders also work to limit intrusive development, preserving sightlines and the formal composition of waterfront estates so that the collective character remains intact. Across these 10 suburbs, consistent themes appear. Waterfront and topographic drama, cliffs, peninsulas, and elevated ridgelines create vantage points that not only provide views, but also hard limits to development, sustaining scarcity and price. Heritage homes and mature gardens add texture and permanence to neighborhoods, while planning controls and community expectations often protect the low-density character buyers value. Institutions matter. Private schools, yacht clubs, boutique shopping, and cultural venues create social ecosystems that affluent buyers prize because they deliver continuity, networks, and convenience. Local community groups and conservation efforts play a role too, preserving coastal walks, native bushland, and historic plantings so that the surrounding environment remains an asset rather than a commodity. In short, buyers are purchasing much more than timber and masonry. They are buying a lifestyle that combines natural beauty, social networks, and institutional access. These are places where history, landscape, and luxury intersect in ways that reward ownership with both daily pleasure and enduring value. If you found this tour fascinating, imagine which of these elements would matter most to you: the privacy of a large garden, the buzz of a village-like center, the immediacy of ocean surf, or the prestige of a harborfront address. New South Wales' top suburbs offer all of these in different measures, and that variety is what keeps demand intense year after year. From Northbridge's leafy calm to Point Piper's almost mythic exclusivity, these neighborhoods are more than addresses. They are chapters in an ongoing story about how people shape, preserve, and prize the places where life feels, quite literally, on the edge of something beautiful. Comment if you want to live in one of these prestigious suburbs and leave a like. It really helps the channel.